Why 350Z? The story is really long because it begins in my childhood. Since I was a little child, my mother many times took me to my grandparents in Ilava city. There, near prison in Ilava, really often was parked 350Z in the same car, of course stuck, but in the same car. Many times I was staring at the window and my mind many times has blown, because for a young boy who loved cars was, wow, such a beautiful car. Then I didn't know that was a Nissan or something. I was looking for a chassis shape, chassis line. That was beautiful. Then my cousin, for the first time in my first computer, installed Need for Speed Underground 2. And I was loving it. That was the second time when I loved cars more and more. I realized most beautiful for me was the Japanese car, like a Skyline, 350Z, Nissan 180SX, but also Hondas, Mazdas, Mitsubishi. When I grew up and ended my high school, I decided to make my dream true. Economic situation in Poland was always difficult and it was hard to earn bigger money. I decided to go to the Netherlands to work. I earned some money and I started to looking for a Japanese sports car, two-door cube with a little bit more power. I was looking for Honda S2000 because who don't love the VTEC sound in higher RPMs. My first drive in S2000 was like, I'm too fat for this car. Really, I'm too fat because I am fat. I was trying the Nissan Silvia S15. Was beautiful, but it's really expensive, too expensive. Next, it was a Skyline R44 GTT, but it was also too expensive. Then I started looking for a 350Z because I realized that was my first dream car. And I found it, and I bought it. When my first drive in this car was like, oh my god, it's a big two-door car, powerful, great sound of natural aspirated V6, and had more than enough of place for the fat big boy like me. Then I bought it in Germany and I took it to Poland. As we know, in Germany sometimes we have the popular Autobahn with no speed limits. Then I loved this car more because it was enough fast. I drove then 270 kilometers per hour. I was racing with my dad. My dad drove a Honda Legend KB1. I won this race.
So what do you like the most about 350Zs?
You know, it's good car because, okay, this is not stock. I have KW suspension because stock 350Z is not good handling as, for example, Honda S2000. But with the suspension, some tunes, it's handling, I think, well. For me, it's enough. It's powerful, sound is great, and in my opinion, enough good balance, the weight ratio. This car, sometimes I like to go by corner, some drifts or something, and this car is very good for it. Gives a lot of fun and smile on face, big smile on face.
Drifting on private closed roads, right?
Of course, on track.
Yeah,
we always drive safe. In cities, we drive safe. If you want to burn out or something or race, always go track.
So you have mentioned that your suspension is not stock. So I'm guessing there's more modifications with this car. What made you start modifying this car? What's the story?
You know, when I bought this car, I knew I will modify this car because that was a plan. I always liked the tuning. Road was very long because from the moment when I bought it for today, it is for more than 5 years. When I bought it, I took it to Poland. Then I first met the Japanese Night Riders. I joined to them, and I met there a lot of people, and everyone in this team, including me, was connecting a big love to Japanese cars and to modifying them. And the rest of guys also have a beautiful cars, in my opinion, better than this. Then it pushed me mentally, pushed me to start modifying more and more this car. I also started college in UHT, University in Warsaw, about tuning cars. There I learned a lot of knowledge about engines, about cars, aerodynamics, and a lot of stuff about how to tune, what to do, that all physics which works on the car. First it was suspension, some exhaust, then I had a little short time in my life. It was a really difficult time for me. Then I decided to make me more happy will be turbocharged by Z. And you know, it was very good decision. And then I was still depressed, but now I was fast. And this car again gave me a lot of fun. So it had 270 horsepower, and now it has 409 horsepower. Big upgrade. Big difference.
Did you put the turbo in alone, or did you use any help from somebody?
You know, I decided to use 350Z as a subject of my diploma. It was short time between my decision and the graduation. It was less than a half year. I have not enough time and not enough knowledge, so I led this job to SU2 Performance. That was not the first time when they turbocharged the 350Z. As I know, it was not so easy, but it was done.
So you have mentioned that you have joined a crew of Japanese Night Riders. Can you tell us more about them?
There is I think, big beautiful story connected with Japanese Night Riders. My journey with the Japanese Night Riders started at 2018 year when I joined them on the small spot on the parking near Carrefour. I was just talking with them, and I joined to them. And you know, that was the beginning of this crew. You know, I met there a lot of friends, passion to the Japanese cars and modifying them, yes, because tuning is really important in our group. I think the most important which took my heart in this group is what kind of people are there. They are really good people, which I can tell they are more than friends. They are like a family. We started to drive on the events of another group and sometimes do our events. Just events on the parkings. We started to make our events more, I think, more professional. That was the events which lasted, okay, one evening, but we started to have our sponsors, our photograph. Next we had our DJ. We started to have a budget to buy stuff like speakers, the scene. A lot of people started to come to us, and we started to have first positive opinions, really good opinions, and it pushed us to make it more. For example, this year we made a Akashira event which lasted 3 days. A lot of guests came to us with Japanese cars, like a Supra workshop. From what it was started to the place where we are now, it's just a big wow. and seriously, it pushes us to make it more. This is something, this is a passion. I don't know how to call it. More than passion. For me, Japanese Night Riders, my friends from this crew, just like a family, because friendship is too small word to describe that.